Hey, hello. My name is Angelo Caruso, and I want to welcome you to Present Like a Pro 5 Steps to Amazing Presentations. It's great to have you here. I think the ability to give effective presentations is the single most important business skill you can ever develop. So let's dive right in because I've got a lot of fantastic info to share with you. This masterclass is for leaders and salespeople whose presentations are critical to earning a living, selling, or even keeping their job. If you must communicate effectively, then this program is for you. I realize there are many reasons that people want to improve their presentations. Some people want to give electric presentations in order to advance their careers. Some want to overcome shyness and inexperience without having to join a huge speaker association for months or even years. Some of us want to convert our blah talks into effective, remarkable showcases so that we can become better leaders and sell more. I'm thinking about commissioned salespeople who must do strong presentations in order to provide for their families. And I haven't met a person yet who doesn't like to get raises, promotions, and the good kind of attention from the boss. You do know the difference between the good attention from the boss and the bad attention, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. So listen, in the next 45 minutes, we're going to talk about how to stop wasting your time, energy, and resources on the drudgery of presentations. How to convert your talks into efficient, effective, and entertaining platforms for helping others. Even if you hate speaking, have limited experience, or struggle with nerves and anxiety. We're also going to cover how to respectfully command attention, establish yourself as a recognized industry expert and trusted authority, all without a PhD, a master's, or even a college degree. And I'll show you how to use your newfound speaking expertise to get promoted, earn more, and open doors to other life-changing opportunities. And how you can do all of this even if you've struggled with any aspect of presenting in the past. This will be the best 45 minutes you ever spent on your career, I promise. I'm going to show you a step-by-step strategy for creating and delivering powerful presentations that improve your team, serve others, and get you noticed. So before we get going, I need you to understand a few things. First of all, in order for these strategies to work, you must know your stuff. No fake experts allowed. You must know your business, whether you're leading a team, selling, or whatever. You must know what you're doing in order to be an amazing presenter. Got it? Number 2, the extraordinary client results referenced in this webinar are not guaranteed, just possible. My most successful clients work their asses off and they follow instructions. Only one person is ultimately responsible for your success, and that person is you. And 3, persuasion is power, so you'll need to take the Angelo Caruso pledge. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I'm waiting. There you go. I promise never to use my powers for evil. So listen, before we get into all the good stuff, I just want to take a minute and see where your head's at. Does your career depend on your ability to present effectively? Do you struggle with writer's block when creating presentations and worry that people think your content is dog food? A lot of people tell me that they work in an industry where it can be challenging to make presentations interesting. Recently, a partner in an accounting firm told me that his subject matter is drier than the paper it's printed on. A government lobbyist literally cringed as he described his area of expertise to me. Do you lie awake the night before your presentation, fearing that failure will cost you your job? Yeah, the moments before presenting can be unsettling, disorienting, and even terrifying. Just last week, a lady told me that the last time she had to speak to her board of directors, she spent 20 minutes retching in the bathroom. And those board meetings are monthly. Are your talks dry and lifeless, so bad that even you get bored? Does your audience stare at you like hostages waiting to be released? They don't laugh or smile when they're supposed to. Most of the people don't even acknowledge you. This is painful. Do you have trouble making an impression when presenting, especially to judgmental bosses and prospects? Have you ever been bypassed for promotions or other work-related opportunities because you're not getting noticed? Are you tired of less talented people getting better feedback on their presentations than you do on yours? And finally, do you ever feel embarrassed, intimidated, or powerless when giving presentations? It's a terrible feeling when you've got something important riding on a presentation and nothing happens as a result. Forget about getting a bite, you don't even get a nibble. Epic fail. And now you've got to go back to the office and explain it to your boss and the rest of the team. It is a terrible feeling to be powerless. Hey, if any of this sounds like you, then I have great news. None of those things that we just talked about are the real problem. You see, those are just the symptoms. The real problem is that you haven't made what I call the 5 shifts, and we're going to talk about what those are in just a second. But for now, know this. Once you make these shifts, you'll be able to create and deliver powerful, persuasive presentations every single time you speak. Your success when speaking will no longer be luck or happenstance. It'll be like a formula or a recipe that turns out good every time. You'll become a recognized industry expert who's known for giving massive value to your audience. Once you make these shifts, you'll speak with ease, confidence, and power. All the difficult things about speaking will melt away. The eyes of your audience will light up when you start to speak. Coworkers will pat you on the back after you're done speaking, and your boss will want to know how you got to be so good so fast. Once you make these shifts, the negative feelings of embarrassment, intimidation, and lack of influence will melt away and be replaced with positive feelings of comfort and confidence. And you'll do all of this while tapping back into the natural enthusiasm that you have for helping people. You know, when you're not feeling yourself, you're not natural. And when you're not natural, you're not authentic. And when you're not authentic, you're not believable. If you're not believable when giving a presentation, is it any wonder that you're not getting the best results? So before we go any further, let me take a few seconds and properly introduce myself so you know who I am and why you should listen to me. My name is Angelo Caruso, and I'm known as the Speaker's Speaker because I've trained thousands of top business leaders and salespeople how to become elite presenters, recognized experts, and how to grow their income. I'm an internationally recognized authority on the subject of presenting, having spoken on 5 continents and in 49 of the 50 states. Hawaii. I know you're wondering which state I haven't spoken in. It's Hawaii. I never charge clients less than $10,000 for a 45-minute keynote, and meeting planners fly me halfway around the world to do so. And get this is very unusual for a professional speaker. I love teaching people how to do this. In fact, I specialize in helping my clients deliver compelling presentations that build careers. Now, I travel for a living, so sadly, owning a dog or a cat is out of the question. But here's a photo of my pets, Feng and Shui. Say hello, Feng. Feng. There's always one troublemaker. I've been coaching people on the art of presentation for a long time, and I've met thousands of speakers. I've noticed that while some people master the art of presentation, most people fall far short of their potential, waste tons of time, and continually embarrass themselves both in little and big ways. For the better part of 2 decades now, I've watched and learned what makes presenters successful. I've carefully identified the winning characteristics of top speakers and incorporated these characteristics into my presentations. Then I started teaching my clients to do this, and the results have been nothing short of amazing. Look, there are 5 key shifts you need to make to develop elite presentation skills so you can deliver knockout presentations and become more valuable to your company. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of these shifts in this master class, starting right now. Shift number 1 is to make excellence your personal standard. Now, this is a big shift if you've barely been getting by on average talks. Statistically speaking, most speakers are average, right? Yet the kiss of death when presenting is to not be able to differentiate your product, your service, or even yourself. It's actually easier to achieve excellence than it is to achieve average, but you must learn to exclusively focus on success and not on distractions. Think of it as having both a to-do list and a not-to-do list. You know, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, which is home of the pop star Bob Seger. In his song Against the Wind, Bob sings about what to leave in and what to leave out, and that certainly applies to presenting. It's like when you're learning to drive and the instructor shows you how to not focus on oncoming traffic, remember? So there are a lot of people out there presenting, including your competition. If you want to stand out, good, as they say, is not good enough. So it's time to say goodbye to mediocrity. I want you to become the best in your area of expertise and have everything in your behavior reflect that. I want you to fully commit to helping others solve their problems. You see, the excellence we're talking about here isn't for you, it's for everyone else, the people you serve. Let me explain what I mean. Now stay with me. There's a psychological axiom called egocentrism. This means that as a presenter, it's somewhat natural to think that your presentation is about you. After all, you're the speaker, it's your slideshow, your information, your offer, etc. But we'll see in a minute that everything you do is about the people you are trying to help with your presentation. Shift number 2 on your way to becoming a powerful presenter is to place a premium value on your time and expertise. Placing a premium value on your time and expertise seems like a pretty good idea, right? Yet most presenters fail to do this. Let's look at some reasons why, so I can help point you in the right direction on this second shift. Now, everyone's different, but if you think that you don't have much influence as a presenter, you probably think that your job is mostly to convey information and let people do whatever they'd like with it. If so, you probably don't consider your time and expertise to be that valuable. On the other hand, you might have the opposite problem. Maybe you put too much confidence in your presentation ability. Maybe you're convinced that you're so good at presenting that you can convert everyone you present to. That's an equally bad mistake. If either of these things describe you, you are not clear on your own value. And you can improve either of these situations by placing a premium value on your time and expertise. Look, your presentation is supposed to be helping people improve the situation, right? Their situation. And since you're the expert, your job is to compel your audience to take action on your counsel. Let me put it more simply. They have a problem, you have a solution, they should act on your solution. So to have this happen for you more often, you need to focus on presenting only to people who are ready to hear what you have to say. I think everyone who's ever presented has found himself in the car on the way back to the office muttering, "What a waste of my time that was." You ever been on one of those calls? But you see, when you're presenting to the wrong people, you're not just wasting your time, you're wasting their time as well. I want you to stop taking advantage of people in this way, and the effectiveness of your presentations will skyrocket. The concept of putting a high value on your time and expertise is very important if you want to rock your presentations. I meet a lot of people who are on the hamster wheel, for example. They're out there giving presentations all the time. If this describes you, it could mean that you don't think much of your own presentations. You may have even been taught that the number of your presentations is directly proportionate to your payday or commission check. Some managers, sales managers in particular, actually reward sellers based on the number of presentations they make in a week or in a month. This is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Companies don't profit from the number of presentations they give. They profit from sales, right? So if you haven't yet placed a high value on your time and expertise, it might be because you've been brainwashed to think that you have to do a high volume of presentations and stay super busy presenting all the time, so you speak to enough people to keep your job and get paid. Whew! How long are you going to keep that up? Look, I've heard tons of stories about people driving all the way across town in all kinds of traffic and weather only to have the meeting canceled. A gentleman named Kevin, who recently enrolled in my Present Like a Pro training course, tells me that he's often promised 30 minutes, which is the amount of time he needs to properly do his presentation. But a few days later, when Kevin shows up at the event, his host tells him that he only has 15 minutes to present. Now, I'm going to help Kevin fix this by placing a higher value on his expertise and time so people don't treat him like this anymore. But another version of placing a minimum perceived value is when you're promised an audience of 20 people, you block out an entire morning to make the presentation, including the round trip that it takes to get there. You arrive at the event and there are only 8 people there to hear you. Not 20, only 8. You see, presenters who have no perceived value are easy to push around. A free presentation from a stranger who begged for the time is the easiest thing in the world to cancel. You want to establish a perceived value that is so high that you are the last thing someone would cancel, even on the busiest of days. If you don't fix this premium value thing, you are destined to continue wasting your time delivering presentations to apathetic and uncaring audiences. Worse, the relentless presentation schedule will cause you to burn out. Fix this problem, however, and you will be amazed at how many people follow you as a leader, buy your stuff, and help you move your career forward. So, if you present for a living, you need to increase the perceived value of your presentations. We've had tons of success stories on this very shift, this idea of premium value. Meet my client and now my friend, Russell Luce. Russell is an investment advisor in Chicago. He works in a highly regulated industry where it can be very difficult to differentiate yourself from the competition. Now, before we started working together, Russell was jumping in the car and dealing with Chicago traffic anytime someone wanted to meet with him. I showed Russell how to place a premium value on his time and expertise, and showed him a system that only had him meeting with people who were ready to do business with him. Russell reported that having me work together with him helped increase his book of business 220% in 1 year. Now, Russell said the extra money was nice, but here's my favorite part of his success story. Russell and his wife have 3 boys, and 2 of them are developmentally disabled. Russell says that he's used his new presentation strategies to make deeper connections with his family. Wow, that just makes me happy. Shift number 3 of the 5 shifts toward amazing presentations is my secret recipe, my secret sauce for creating and delivering persuasive presentations. I've developed the most powerful way for presenters like you to give electric presentations and advance your career. You want to know what it is? To truly appreciate this new way of presenting, it'll be helpful to review what's happening when we present in the old, ineffective way. See if any of these things look familiar to you. The old way of doing presentation involves artificial pretense, hokey audio-visual aids, cliche content, meaningless bullet points, generic advice, are your eyes rolling yet? Corny icebreakers, lame graphics, hello, hand-me-down humor, cheesy videos, and uncomfortable role-playing. I mean, this is the kind of crap that gives presenters a bad name. When you do any of these things, people tune out and it's impossible for you to command the room. Now, there's a better way for leaders and salespeople to crush their presentations. And this new way of presenting involves a simple 4-step process using certain communication skills to customize your presentation in real time, establish deep connections with your audience, and make things happen. I've named this technique the reverse presentation. Now, to give powerful presentations, you need to stop focusing on the information that you give and start focusing on the information you collect. Let me explain what I mean. You see, 95% of presenters focus too much on what they have to say. So my secret sauce is a 4-stage sequence. First, use a special strategy, something I call advanced rapport. And the key to this now is I show you how to activate the rapport before you actually begin your formal presentation. There are a number of ways to do this. Then we employ something called cognitive empathy to get the audience thinking. After that, we use something that behavioral psychologists call communication congruency to marry what the audience is thinking to the benefits of your message. And lastly, we use a unique form of signaling to know just the right time to issue your call to action. All good presentations have a call to action. And here's how one of my clients put this secret recipe to work in a big way. Meet Bridget Gruhl. Bridget is a packaging consultant based in Michigan. Now, she came to me at a crucial stage for her company because Bridget and her account representatives had to either start closing some new business or close their doors. I showed Bridget and her team how to do the reverse presentation, and they closed $2.5 million worth of business within 90 days. Pretty cool. This is even better. A year later, Bridget called me to say that the total new money brought into the company was now over $4 million, all through the power of presentation. Love it. So let's do a quick recap of what we've learned so far about what it takes to become a powerful and effective presenter. Shift number 1 said that excellence must be your standard. So let's say goodbye to mediocrity in your presentation. Sound good? Shift number 2 is to place a premium value on your time and expertise. From now on, only spend time with people who are ready for your message. Shift number 3 was to use my reverse presentation so that you can start focusing on what your audience is saying to you so that you can customize your presentations in real time. Now, let's consider what many think is the essence of a presentation, and you're going to want to sit down for this one. Shift number 4 is to stop being chained to the slide deck. You see, most speakers make a slideshow the center of their presentation, but slides are actually the least important part of your talk. Statistics show that presenters spend up to 90% of their preparation time on slide templates, verbiage on the slides, graphics, color, and slide design. None of that effort is critical to your success, and I can prove it. Let me ask you a question. When people rave about top presenters, are they ever referring to the slideshow? Nope. This brings us to case study number 3. Now, this is my favorite of the case studies because it demonstrates how effective presentations can be when we get away from the pretense of podiums, PowerPoint, and projectors. Rodney Charbonneau is the coach of a female basketball team. Now, the team wasn't doing well, and Rodney had tried everything, man, so he reached out to me to see if my presentation coaching might help. Well, we didn't spend a minute teaching the players about speaking mechanics like articulation and elocution. We didn't give them a formal presentation with all the trappings of a boardroom. Instead, we taught them techniques to improve their confidence and self-concepts. It turns out that confidence is not only critical to success when presenting, it's also necessary for winning basketball games. Rodney's players began to believe in themselves, and they won the league championship 3 years in a row. How about that? The last shift, shift number 5, is to invest in coaching. We know that all top business executives, actors, and athletes have coaches. Any presenter can work alone to make gradual improvement over 20 or 30 years. This is the long, arduous time frame that we call a career. It's also called the curse of gradual improvement because check this out. Anyone who chooses gradual improvement opts out of dramatic, fast improvement. And that's what I want for you, dramatic, fast improvement. So why limit yourself to improving in small ways over 2 or 3 decades when you can work with a coach now, enjoy dramatic improvement now, and be rewarded right away and for years to come? As we said earlier, the ability to deliver amazing presentations is the single most important business skill you can ever attain. I think people who present want to get promoted faster. They want to get pay raises more frequently, and they want to come into better opportunities. Guess who can help you with all of this? That's right, someone who's done it already, like a mentor or a coach. Look, trying to get ahead without the proper training is crazy. I've spent almost $100,000 on training and coaching, and every time it was a big decision. I'll tell you this, I am much further ahead in life because of it. I love having a coach because of something that psychologists call blind side bias. You see, by definition, you can't see your own blind spots, but a coach sees them instantly and helps you quickly work past them. Find the best mentor you can and work with that person. Do not go it alone. Okay, so today I promise to show you how to stop wasting your time, energy, and resources on the drudgery of presentations. We talked about how to convert your talks into efficient, effective, and entertaining platforms that serve others. We covered how to respectfully command attention, establish yourself as a recognized industry expert and a trusted authority, all without a PhD, a master's, or even a college degree, and how to use your newfound speaking expertise to get promoted, earn more in sales commissions, get more paid speaking gigs, and advance your career. I showed you a step-by-step strategy for presentations that get people to take action just by talking to them for a few minutes. And I showed you how you can do all of this even if you hate presenting, have limited experience, struggle with nerves or anxiety, or have had issues with any aspect of presenting in the past. I told you about the 5 necessary shifts you need to make in order to deliver amazing presentations. Shift number 1 was to make excellence your personal standard. Shift number 2 was to place a premium value on your time and expertise. Shift number 3 was to use my secret weapon, remember? The reverse presentation. Shift number 4 was to stop being chained to the slide deck. And shift number 5 was to invest in coaching. These 5 shifts will transform your presentations, move you forward, and dramatically improve the quality of your life. And now that you know they're available to you, you have a choice. It's the proverbial fork in the road. Look, you can continue to struggle when giving presentations, spending way too much preparing the wrong thing, keep getting less than stellar feedback, and not doing what's best for you, your team, or even your family. You can keep doing battle with the negative emotions of giving presentations, the intimidation, the embarrassment, the powerless feelings. And you can keep watching less talented colleagues pass you by as they advance their careers. Or you can decide enough is enough and finally take action to better your life. If that's what you want, then here's what I have for you. I've set aside some time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can quickly and dramatically improve your presentations and get rewarded for it starting right now. Whatever your biggest challenges are as a presenter, I've seen them and I'm confident I can help you overcome them. I'll help you get absolute clarity on the root cause of your problem and show you a step-by-step plan to transform. On this breakthrough call, it'll be just you and me identifying ways to move you forward so you can finally use presentations to get ahead in life. I'll help you get absolute clarity on exactly what to do to quickly create the presentation skill set that is essential to your success. And the cost for this call is absolutely nothing. It's free. But this offer is not for everybody. You must have knowledge that solves a major life or business problem and requires a behavioral shift from your audience. You must be outstanding at what you do, and you must hold yourself to the highest standards of excellence and service. You must be coachable, decisive, and resourceful. If that's you, book your session now. You might ask why I'm offering free consultations. Well, there are two reasons, I guess. First, I do this because I love giving back to the industry that has given me so much. I've always had a teacher stripe ever since I gave trumpet and bass guitar lessons back in my 20s. I just love helping people turn on light bulbs. Even today, my keynote speeches are both entertaining and educational. Plus, I know that you might want help transforming your presentation skills, so we can discuss that, and if it's a good fit for both of us, great. If not, that's fine too. Use this link to book a free phone consult with me, www.michaelangelocaruso.com/talk. Spaces are limited, so sign up now. When you click through, you'll be taken to a calendar page. You'll see my available appointment times. Just choose a time that's good for you. After that, you'll be taken to a short application page with just a few questions. Fill it out, and I'll see you on the call. Hey, thanks for listening to Present Like a Pro, and I'll talk with you soon.